सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। मुरहरनगधर मुकुन्द माधव मुरहरनगधर मुकुन्द माधव मुरहरनगधर मुकुन्द माधव गरुडगमन पंकजनाभा गरुडगमन पंकजनाभा परम पुरुष भव भंजन केशव परम पुरुष भव भंजन केशव नर मृग शरीर नमो नमो नर मृग शरीर नमो नमो नारायण ते नमो नमो भव नारद सन्नुत नमो नमो आदिदेव सकलागम पूजित आदिदेव सकलागम पूजित यादव कुल मोहन रूपा यादव कुल मोहन रूपा वेदोद्धार श्री वेंकटनायक वेदोद्धार श्री वेंकटनायक पुरंदर विठ्ठल नमो नमो विठ्ठल नमो नमो। नारायण ते नमो नमो भव। नारद सन्नुत नमो नमो। नारद सन्नुत नमो नमो। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 Repeat once. Satchidanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya vinashaya Shri Krishnaya vayam numaha. Yam pravrajantamanupetamakrityam. Yam pravrajantamanupeta. Yam pravrajantam anupetam apetakrityam dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava. Putreti tanmayataya taravobhineduhu. Tam sarvabhuta hridayam munim anatosmi Yes. So that will be our invocation prayer. How many of you are hearing Bhagavata Mahatmyam for the first time? Okay, thank you. So now, a little bit of introduction. How many cantos we have in Srimad Bhagavatam? There are 12 cantos. And how many verses? Totally 18,000 verses. Many times people get confused. Enough. Yes. Many times people get confused with Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. They think that both of them are same. It is not. Srimad Bhagavad Gita comes in Mahabharata. And how many verses we have in Bhagavad Gita? 700 or 701. Whereas Srimad Bhagavatam contains 18,000 verses. So what are we going to study now? Gita or Bhagavatam? We are going to study Bhagavatam. And in that Bhagavatam, we are not going to take 18,000 verses. In fact, in this 1 week, we are not even going to take one verse. Because the portion we are going to cover is the glorification of Bhagavatam. And this portion comes in Padma Puranam. So Bhagavata Mahatmyam is a portion glorifying Bhagavatam, and it comes in Padma Puranam. So there are 12 cantos in it. And in Mahatmyam, there are around 500 verses. That is what we are going to see in this 1 week. So since this is a Krishna temple, I thought we must in detail deal with Bhagavatam. Generally, they do Bhagavata Saptaham. You must have heard Bhagavata Saptaham. Saptaham means how many days? 7 days. So in these 7 days, they finish 18,000 verses. So you can imagine with what detail they must have gone. Just like the aeroplane flying, that is the way they go. So many times what happens is, only the story part they cover, the philosophical part they never cover. So many people have this notion that Bhagavatam is nothing but stories. And therefore they say, what is there in Bhagavatam? Some stories. But the real Bhagavatam is not at all this. So therefore, we have decided to study Bhagavatam in all its seriousness, in all its detail. Only then you know the glory of Bhagavatam. So that is the purpose. So every year we are going to take up one canto. So how many cantos? 12 cantos plus this Mahatmyam. So it will take 13 years. Okay. So every year we'll be taking one canto and we'll be taking it in detail. We must understand this Bhagavatam is nothing but the essence of the Upanishads. And whatever is said in Bhagavad Gita, that message is there in Bhagavatam, but beautifully presented in the form of stories. The philosophy is the same. The practical application of those philosophies, we need some stories. So these stories we find in Bhagavatam. So now and then we will have to refer to Gita to say, see how that beautiful philosophy of Gita, how that beautiful philosophy of Upanishad is beautifully presented here in the form of story. So this is the composition of this great Acharya, our Vedavyasa Acharya. Even the Padma Puranam also has come from him alone. So this Vedavyasa Rishi, he was an Amshavatar of Bhagavan, Kalavatar of Bhagavan. And that avatar took place mainly for the purpose of the people of Kali Yuga. So this Rishi, he felt that these philosophies, high philosophies, somehow we have to put these philosophies into the hearts of the people. How to enter into the hearts of people who are born in Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga, the description will come. What kind of people are going to be born in Kali Yuga, etc. So he thought how to enter into their hearts. So he said the best way to enter into their hearts is through stories. So therefore, stories are something which everyone would enjoy. Children, women, men, adults, old, educated, uneducated, cultured, uncultured. Stories are something which everybody loves. So therefore, Vedavyasa Rishi uses stories to bring in the subtle philosophies of life. And the beauty of Bhagavatam is everybody enjoys it. Whether you are cultured or uncultured, whether you are small children or old, adults, old people, everybody enjoy Bhagavatam. And the beauty of Bhagavatam is superficially there is a story. But deep down, there is a symbolic meaning of the story. For that you have to analyze. You have to apply the philosophies of Vedas and Vedantas. So that is what we are going to see now. So there will be a story, but then I will ask you to think over and churn out the philosophy behind that story. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhi. So that Vishala Buddhi we are going to see now through these compositions. That greatness of Vyasa Rishi, you can't appreciate in 7 days just by flying through the stories. No, you are doing injustice to this great composition. So therefore, we are going to go into detail. All verses will not be covered, but all those verses where we have a lot of philosophies involved, those will be covered. And in this Bhagavath Mahatmyam also we have a beautiful story. So this is how we are going to study this text. Just imagine Srila Prabhupada. Have you heard of him? Who is he? ISKCON founder. He came to America. It's a big story, at the age of, I think, 77 or so, he came. Old man. And I think during his ship travel itself, 21 days of ship travel, he had 2 massive heart attacks. He was not even going to survive. But his guru had told that you have to go to the West and then teach. So he, while seeing these American people, all indulgent people, extroverted people, materialistic people, he thought, how am I able to teach this? And then within, I think, 2-3 months, his typewriter was stolen, his recorder was stolen, and the cold, biting cold, and no money, and all non-vegetarians. He was struggling. But then he felt, no, if Guru has said, then there must be some purpose. So he stayed back. That was the time when there was this hippie culture. All those hippies, naked, drug addicts, they were all lying down all over. US government was fed up of them, not knowing what to do with these people. And this Prabhupada, by narrating the stories of Bhagavatam, grabbed all of them. Very many of them became his disciples. He started telling these stories. The story of Dhruva, the story of Prahlada, Gajendra. And listening to these stories and making them chant the name of the Lord. All these people were transformed. Then they started doing Nagara Sankirtan. This is how ISKCON was born. And he would give them gulab jamun also. So good food to eat, good stories. Within 12 years, he could build 108, centers all over the world. So you can imagine the power of Bhagavatam. The most uncultured people whom we say that they are gone case, from there this movement was started. So that is the power of Bhagavatam, that is the power of the stories of Bhagavatam. In fact, now whatever great paintings we have, they are all by the Westerners who have been transformed by such stories. It is amazing how these Westerners, they shave their head with that, shikha, with that marking and singing and dancing, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. In fact, the Indians never followed Prabhupada. But when they saw that Westerners were following Prabhupada, then they started following. Because Indians always ape the West. So, all glories go to our great Rishi, Vedavyasa Rishi. What a master! So now, I think this introduction is enough. Now let us enter into Bhagavata Mahatmyam. If you see Ramakrishna Mission book, this particular portion is not there. They start with first canto. You will have to go for Gita Pras Gorakhpur. In that, the first section is Mahatmyam. But you don't need the text. But I will be chanting the verses for my own joy. Okay? So with this, let us start. So how does it start? Sachidananda Rupaya Vishwotpattyadi Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. We bow down, we prostrate, Vayam Numaha. To whom? Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. We bow down to Lord Sri Krishna, who is the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. But then who is Sri Krishna? So we may think that Sri Krishna is the son of Yashoda, Yashoda Nandana, Devaki Nandana, Vasudeva Suta. But very interestingly, here Sri Krishna is not at all defined in those ways, introduced in those ways. In which way is Sri Krishna introduced? Sachidananda Rupaya. Who is Sri Krishna? Sat Chit Anand. Sat means existence. Chit means consciousness. Ananda means bliss. Meaning what? Krishna is none other than our own self. That I in us. Because many times what happens is when we say Krishna, born in some yuga. Which yuga? Dwapara yuga. Okay, somewhere somebody was born. I don't even know whether he was there or not. Some say he is there. Some say no, it's all fictitious story. But here in that first verse itself, we are told who that Krishna is. That Krishna is the very I in us. Is there anyone without I? So who is that Krishna? Right here, right now, as the very own self. Sachidananda Rupaya Vishwa Utpatti Adi Hetave. Hetave, who is the cause? Hetu means cause. He is the cause of Vishwa Utpatti Adi. So what are the Adis? Utpatti, Sthiti, Laya. Utpatti means creation. Sthiti means sustenance. Laya means dissolution. So the whole world comes from this I, remains in this I, merges back into this I. Yes or no? Your world, where does it come from? Swamiji, the moment I wake up, the moment you wake up, your world has come, and when you go to sleep, your world has gone. This is the experience of everyone. So where is this world existing? In me, in that consciousness in me. So from this consciousness, the world arises. Into this consciousness, the world merges. The world has no existence apart from this consciousness. These are all Vedanta. Vishwotpatyadi hetave. No, Swamiji, when I am asleep, world is not for me, but for others it is there, no. But where is it in others? It is in their mind, isn't it? So everybody is seeing the world in their mind only, and that mind is in consciousness. So therefore, the substratum of this world is consciousness. That consciousness, which is the self, is that Krishna. What is the benefit of knowing this knowledge? Tapatraya vinashaya. All your sufferings will end when you know this. When you know this Krishna, who is the self in you, your miseries will end. You will attain absolute peace. To that Krishna, Sri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. This is how it starts. Very interestingly, Krishna is not described as son of so and so, devotee of so and so. No. You see? Okay. So, Ishta Devata, Krishna, we prostrate. Now what is the prostration? Next prostration. Next prostration is to that great Guru who gave us Srimad Bhagavatam. And who is he? He is Shuka Brahma Rishi. So in fact, the story goes that Parikshit, he was cursed by a Rishiputra, son of a Rishi, that you will be killed by Takshaka. Takshaka is a serpent. In 7 days you will die by the biting of this serpent. So this Parikshit, so people who are very new to this, let me tell that story also. So Parikshit, he once went, Parikshit, who is Parikshit by the way? Son of Abhimanyu. Who is Abhimanyu? Son of Arjuna. So son of Arjuna is Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit. So this Parikshit, a very good king, once he went for hunting, and in the forest he got lost. He was tired, exhausted, very thirsty, hungry. And in that forest, he saw one Rishi meditating. He was lost completely. So he saw one ashram there. And when Rishi was meditating, what is the name of the Rishi? Shamika Rishi. Correct. Shamika Rishi. So that Rishi was meditating. So he was mentally also disturbed because, after hunting and all that, the mind is also disturbed. So he asked for some water. And the Rishi did not respond because actually he had gone to Samadhi. But then this king thought that he is, he's acting as though he is meditating. Maybe he did not want to open his eyes so that because if he opens his eyes, then he will see the king and then he will have to get up. So is he really meditating? Has he gone really to Samadhi or he's just pretending? So then nearby one dead snake was there. So he took his bow, took that dead snake and put it around his shoulder. But this Rishi did not know anything. He was in Samadhi. And then from there, Parikshit left. But as he was walking, he felt what I did was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But then this Rishi had a small son, 5 years, 6 years. He was playing with his friends. So somebody went and told him, hey, that king, he has put one dead snake around your father's shoulder. And this boy became boiling with rage. He said, whoever has done that, he just took some water, did achamanam, and then said, whoever has done that, let that person die by the biting of Takshaka, serpent bite, in 1 week time. So this curse was pronounced. So by the time Parikshit had gone back, he was very repentant. He said that I shouldn't have done that. Oh God, give me some kind of punishment to me so that, my mind will never think in such crooked ways. At that time comes this message, O king, you have been cursed. In 7 days you are going to die by the biting of Takshaka. Parikshit actually felt nice. Yes, I deserve this. I deserve this punishment. And he left everything, made his son Janamejaya the king, retired to the banks of Ganga, all, dress of a renunciate. And then he sat there. Now he has 7 days time. He did not know what to do. All the great Rishi-munis gathered around him. So then he requests, O Rishi, I have only 7 days now. What is it that I should do? So it was at that time that Shuka Brahma Rishi comes. And he asks the same question. The Shuka Brahma Rishi says, the one thing you have to do is fix your mind upon the Lord. And this Shuka Brahma Rishi, he never used to stay in one place. It is said that Shuka Brahma Rishi takes only as much as time as is needed to milk a cow. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Only that much time he stays in one place. That kind of parivrajaka he was. So he just keeps moving around. But for that particular occasion, that was the only exception. He stayed there because a great king was going to die. For then 7 days he continuously engaged the mind of the king with such soul-captivating stories that it is said that after 7th day, by the time 7th day was over, Parikshit's mind was absorbed in the Lord. He had attained samadhi. It was at that time this Takshaka is coming. But before this, Takshaka came, his mind was out. He was in samadhi. So this is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. So who is the teacher of Srimad Bhagavatam? Shuka Brahma Rishi. Who is Shuka Brahma Rishi, by the way? Son of Vedavyasa Rishi. So now, this verse, the second verse, is a glorification of Shuka Brahma Rishi, his greatness, that which we have chanted. Yam pravrajantamanupeta krityam dvaipayano viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhineduhu tam sarva bhuta hridayam munimanatosmi. Munim anatosmi. We bow down to that sage. Who is he? This Shuka Brahma Rishi. Now, this verse describes the glory of Shuka Brahma Rishi. What is his glory? Yam pravrajantam anupetam apeta krityam. So Shuka Brahma Rishi, it is said, when he was born, anupetam, even that sacred thread ceremony was not over. You know that? Janeyu. That sacred thread ceremony was also not over, meaning very young, maybe 6 years, 7 years. By then, apeta krityam, the boy was so matured that he had transcended all duties and responsibilities. What is the purpose of fulfilling all these duties and responsibilities in the world? According to Bhagavatam, there is only one purpose: developing devotion for God and developing dispassion towards the world. That is the purpose of performing all duties in this world. So if, as we are performing the duties, if our devotion for God is increasing, that means we are truly performing our duties. In the process, if vairagya is increasing, yes. So, this boy, even before entering into brahmacharya ashrama or grihastha ashrama, he had attained the purpose of all duties and responsibilities. Meaning what? He was an embodiment of devotion. He was an embodiment of knowledge. He was an embodiment of dispassion. That is the meaning apeta krityam. All krityam over. Krita krityam. The purpose for which duties and responsibilities have to be done, that purpose was served even before doing it. So, even before that sacred thread ceremony was over, pravrajantam, he just took sannyas. He renounced the world. And then what happened? He was leaving everybody. Who is his father? Vyasa Rishi. So he left everything. Dvaipayanaha, Veda Vyasa Rishi, he had extreme attachment towards his son. Dvaipayanaha, Viraha Katara, he started crying, the pang of separation. Ajuhava, he called, Hey Putra, my dear son, don't go, don't leave us. Who is telling? My dear son, don't leave us. Don't go. Hey Putra. At that time, something happened. What happened? Putreti tanmayataya taravaha abhineduhu. So, Shuka Brahma Rishi was walking. Vyasa Rishi is running behind in a forest. And when Vyasa Rishi said, Oh my dear son, don't go, don't go, a response came from the trees. Taravaha, the trees responded. Tanmayataya, because this Shuka Brahma Rishi had become one with everyone. Tanmayataya, taravaha abhineduhu, these trees responded. Tam sarvabhuta hridayam, to that sage who is sarvabhuta hridayam, who is residing in the hearts of everyone, as that consciousness. So how did the trees respond? The trees responded saying, Oh Rishi, this is not your son, he is the very self in all of us. The trees responded. So to that stage, who is residing in the hearts of all, as the very consciousness in us, to that stage, our prostration. So where is Shuka Brahma Rishi now? The one who has become one with that consciousness. You see, what is the level of the teacher, you see? Yam pravrajantam, anupetam, apetakrityam, dvaipayano, Vedavyasa Rishi himself is considered the highest. This son has beaten even father also. Dvaipayano, and who is writing this? Father himself. Dvaipayano virahakatara ajuhava. Putreti tanmayataya taravaha abhineduhu tam sarvabhuta hridayam munim anatosmi. So what is the purpose of the study of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam? To reach that state, that pure consciousness, to know ourselves as we are. This is the purpose. Now start the story. Okay. So you'll find that suddenly the level comes down. For those people who find what is happening. So then suddenly one story. You see. Naimishe sutamasinam abhivadya mahamatim kathamrita rasaswada kushala shaunako bravit. So the whole setting is Naimisharanya. Aranya means forest. So in the forest of Naimisha, there was a big sacrifice going on for 1,000 years. And the lead priest, it was Suta Rishi. And then there was this Shaunaka Rishi also. So now and then they take a break. So during one such break, Suta Rishi was seated in a very high asana. So then Shaunaka Rishi approached. Naimishe Sutam Asinam Abhivadya Mahamatim. The Suta Rishi was Mahamati. He had studied all scriptures. A very scholarly person and also firmly rooted in the experience of that highest truth. Mahamatim. To that Suta Rishi, Shaunaka, the Shaunaka Rishi, he prostrated to him. And who is Shaunaka Rishi? Katha Amrita Rasa Aswada Kushala. You see the beauty of Sanskrit. All these things you don't find in translation. You see, if you want to, original is original. Kathamrasa rasa aswada kushalaha. Kushalaha, who is an expert. He is an expert in what? Aswada kushalaha. He is an expert in enjoying. What? Rasa, the taste. Always whenever a Sanskrit word is given, you have to start from the back. That is a style. Katha Amrita Rasa Aswada Kushala. The one who is an expert in enjoying the taste of Amrita. What Amrita? Katha Amrita. Amrita of Katha. I hope all these things you understand. Amrita means what? Nectar. Nectar of Katha. He loves listening to stories. Spiritual stories. So such a person was Shaunaka Rishi. So he wanted to have a spiritual discussion. Because he knew that Suta Rishi is a great person. He has an embodiment of knowledge. A treasure house of knowledge. So therefore, he did not want to waste time gossiping, etc. So he immediately approached Suta Rishi, bowing down to him. This Shaunaka Rishi, who was interested in listening to spiritual stories, spiritual discussion, he spoke thus. Many times, you need to have a good listener. Then only the speaker is inspired. If the listener is bored and all that, you don't feel like talking. But if the listener is really, this is the way you should be as a listener. Okay? Kathamrita rasa aswada kushalaha you should be. Then only I will feel like speaking. The face should be lit up, brilliant, desiring to listen. Right? Not shaking the vaja. When will this get over? Not that. Kathamrita rasaswada kushala. Then the speaker feel like explaining more and more, going into finer details. So that was the kind of person this Shaunaka Rishi was. So you can imagine, the entire Bhagavatam is actually told by Suta Rishi to Shaunaka Rishi. 18,000 verses. So what a great listener he must be. Okay. So now, Shaunaka Uvacha. He spoke. So what did he speak? He is speaking to whom? Suta Rishi. Now see, another beautiful word. This is one word. Ajnanadvanta vidvamsa koti surya samaprabha Sutakhya hi kathasaram mama karna rasayanam. See the way Shaunaka Rishi is addressing Suta Rishi. Who is Suta Rishi? Ajnana dvanta vidvamsa koti surya samaprabha. This is the way Shaunaka Rishi is addressing Suta Rishi. O Rishi, now let us see this word. Samaprabha. Prabha means what? Brilliance. O Rishi, who has the brilliance of Koti Surya. Koti Surya means? Koti means how much? 1 crore. Samaprabha. O Rishi, who has the brilliance of 1 crore suns. S-U-N-S. In what? Ajnana dvanta vidvamsa. Vidvamsa means destroying. The one who has the brilliance of 1 crore suns in destroying. Destroying what? Dvanta. Dvanta means darkness. The one who has the brilliance of 1 crore suns in destroying the darkness. What kind of darkness? Ajnana dvanta. Darkness of ajnanam. Ajnanam means what? Ignorance. So the one who has the brilliance of 1 crore suns in destroying the darkness of ignorance. You see the Sanskrit? This is one word. Ajnana dvanta vidvamsa koti surya samaprabha. O Guru, He Suta, Akhyahi kathasaram mama karna rasayanam. Bhagwan, may you please describe this katha. Because this katha is for me rasayanam. What is rasayanam? Many times people think rasayanam is something, to eatable. Some kashayam, rasayanam, especially when you have chest condition, some rasayanam. Now this is karna rasayanam. Ayanam means aboard. Rasa ayanam means what? Aboard of the essence, the juice. So that is how that word has come, rasayanam. Aboard of the essence. So all this Ayurvedic, this thing is also called rasayanam because they boil it and the essence becomes that rasayanam. But here we are not talking of that rasayanam. We are talking of karna rasayanam. Karna means what? Ear. For my ears, this is an abode of taste, rasam. I love drinking this through my ears. So, hey Suta, please describe these spiritual stories. But Shaunaka Rishi, why do you want to listen to all this? What is the purpose? Bhakti jnana viragaptah viveko vardhate mahan maya moha nirasascha vaishnavaih kriyate katham. So the question is this. Oh Rishi, I just don't want to listen some stories. The stories must be told with a purpose. And what is the purpose? Why am I asking all this? Vivekaha katham vardhate. How can I develop my viveka? What kind of viveka? You see the definition here. Bhakti jnana viraga aptaha viveka. What kind of wisdom? Wisdom which is attained by bhakti, jnana and vairagya. Now this is a beautiful definition because only such a viveka is true viveka. If we have to say that a person is wise, then the condition is that person must have bhakti, devotion, jnana, knowledge, and then viraga, dispassion. Together only, then only we can say that is viveka. Wisdom. Wisdom must have all the three. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. Oh Lord, how can I develop such a viveka? In this regard, you must tell your stories, katha. Okay? Maya moha nirasascha Vaishnavaihi kriyate katham. Bhagavan, how should I ward off? Nirasa means to destroy. Maya moha. This moha, delusion, infatuation created by this moha, how to come out of it? How to develop viveka? Viveka? How to come out of this infatuation created by Maya? How can devotees come out of it? And then, Iha ghore kalau prayah Jivascha suratam gatah Kleshakrantasya tasyaiva Shodhane kim parayanam. Oh Lord, Kali Yuga has started. Ghora Kali has started. So it's very clear that this happened in the beginning of Kali Yuga. This Kali Yuga has started. And what is the characteristics of this Kali Yuga? Jivaha cha asuratam gataha. All the jivas have become asuras. What is the definition of asura? Asushu ramante iti asuraha. Asushu means sense organs. Those who revel in the sense organs are called asuras. Asuras are not some having some, horns, what is that? Canine teeth. No. That is how all these Amarchitra Kathas, etc. you see. But Asura, the real definition is this. One who revels in sense pleasures. He is not bothered about anything else. He is just indulged in sense pleasures. No discipline, only indulgence, no devotion, no meditation, nothing. Such a person is called Asura. If this is the definition, then we think we are all Asuras only. Jivaha cha asuratam gataha. Now see, all this, whatever is said here, you will find that it is happening in the world. Klesha krantasya. And therefore, everybody is miserable. Because where are we living? Outside. Where is happiness? Inside. So a person who is reveling in the outer pleasures, will he get the inner bliss of the self? No. Everybody is miserable. Kleshakrantasya tasyeva shodhane kim parayanam. Oh Lord, how to come out of this misery? Please guide us in this way. Shreyasam yad bhavet shreyah Pavananam cha pavanam Krishna praptikaram shashvat Sadhanam tatvadadhuna. Oh Lord, the one solution is Krishna praptikaram. Please tell us how to attain that Lord, who is Pavananam cha pavanam, holier than the holiest, the most holy. Shreyasam yad bhavet shreyasa, the ultimate good for a person. Shreyas, how to attain that supreme truth, that supreme Lord. What is the permanent means of attaining it? Oh Lord, please explain to us. Chintamanir loka sukham suradrusvarga sampadam prayachati guruf pritah vaikuntham yogi durlabham. Oh Lord, this Chintamani, or what is called as a Parasmani. What is the Chintamani or Parasmani's unique feature? It touches any base metal, it becomes gold. Chintamanihi loka sukham. With Chintamani, I can get, comforts and convenience. This worldly wealth I can get. Suradruhu Swarga Sampadam. If I have this Kalpavriksha, then I can get everything of the heaven. Swarga Sukha I can get. So Loka Sukha I can get by Chintamani. Swarga Sukha I can get by Kalpateru, wish fulfilling tree of the Swarga. Prayachati Guruf Pritaha Vaikuntham Yogi Durlabam. But when Guru is pleased, that Guru is able to give Vaikuntha. What is Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha, we think it's a world. World of Vishnu is called Vaikuntha, but actually the word meaning is Kuntha means limitation, suffering, misery. That is called Kuntha. Vikuntha means freedom from that. So actually Vaikuntha means that state of infinite bliss. So by Guru's grace and blessings, a person can get even that permanent state of Vaikuntha. So therefore, O Guru, in these lines, please answer. So these are the questions. Suta Rishi was extremely pleased listening to these questions. And then Suta Rishi started answering. How did he answer? Let us see the next verse. Suta Uvacha. Suta Rishi was extremely pleased, seeing Shaunaka Rishi's desire to know, his love, his devotion, his purity of mind. And now Suta Rishi said something. What did he say? Priti Shaunaka Chittete Hyato Vachmi Vicharya Cha Sarva Siddhanta Nishpannam Samsara Bhayanashanam. Oh Shaunaka, I can very clearly see that your heart is very pure. And therefore, whatever I say, it will definitely benefit you. You see, have you seen this calf drinking the milk from the cow? So when that mother cow sees that calf, it is said her heart becomes filled with vatsalya, affection for that baby. And then she releases the milk. Without the calf, you directly go to milk the cow, nothing you will get. So therefore these people, they release the calf first, 2-3 minutes. And the moment she has released the milk, immediately they die. So in the same way, efficient shishyas, they are like this calf. Through their sweet words, humble attitude, their love and reverence and devotion and faith, they bring out this milk of knowledge from the Guru. So this is what we see here. The glory of Shaunaka Rishi also. So Suta Rishi was extremely happy and he said, yes, I will give you. Sarva Siddhanta Nishpannam. I will give you that which is the essence of all the philosophies. And what is the result of gaining this knowledge? Samsara Bhayanashanam. It will destroy all the fears in this samsara. Bhaktyoghvardhanam yaccha Krishna Santosha Hetukam Tadaham te bhidhasyami Savadhanataya shrunu. I will tell you that means Bhakti Oghavardhanam, which will increase the flow of bhakti in you, devotion in you. Krishna Santosha Hetukam, that by which Bhagavan will be pleased with you. Tadaham te bhidasyami, I will give you that. So I will give you that knowledge, gaining which Bhagavan himself will be pleased with you and your heart will be filled with, surging with the emotion of devotion. Oh Rishi, what is that? That is what is Srimad Bhagavatam. So see the way Srimad Bhagavatam is described. Kalavyala mukhagrasa trasa nirnasha hetave. This is one word. Srimad Bhagavatam Shastram Kalaukirena Bhashitam. For this purpose, Srimad Bhagavatam Shastram has been given by Shuka Brahmarshi. When Kalau means in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, Kirena means Shuka. This Bhagavata Shastram was given for this purpose. What is the purpose? Kala, Vyala, Mukha, Grasa, Trasa, Nirnasha, Hetave. One word. What did you understand? So start from the last. Hetave, Hetu. For this purpose. What is the purpose? Nirnasha Hetave. Nasha means destruction. Nirnasha means Nishesha Nasha. Complete destruction. For the purpose of complete destruction. Destruction of what? Trasa. Affliction. Suffering. Affliction, suffering. Suffering due to what? Mukha grasa. To the person who has been caught in the jaws. Mukha grasa. Jaws of what? Vyala. Vyala means a serpent, a python. Vyala, mukha, grasa, trasa. This is our condition. We are all caught up in the jaws of a python or a serpent. But who is this python? Kala Vyala. Who is this Vyala? Kala, time or death. So we are all one-liner biography, all of us. What is it? Kala Vyala Mukha Grasa Trasa. What a construction. See the beauty of Sanskrit. Kalavyala mukhagrasa trasaha. The one who is suffering, being caught up in the jaws of this python called time. We are all slowly getting digested inside that tummy of Kalavyala. Some people are 90% digested. How do you know? All white hairs. Some people have just entered. Some people are in between. Various stages of digestion. Kalavyala mukhagrasa. And all of us, at the back of the mind, there is only one fear. Consciously or unconsciously, every time this fear is there. What is the fear? The fear of death. And they say that all the other kinds of fears are nothing but based on this fear. The fear of darkness, the fear of height, and fear of so many varieties of fears are there. All fears are based on this fear, the fear of death. And as long as we are in this body, nobody can get rid of this fear of death. As long as we are identified with this body, nobody can get it off. So this is a general biography that is said. Kala Vyala Mukha Grasa Trasa. And now what is Bhagavata Shastram? Trasa Nirnasha Hetave. To destroy this fear. So this Bhagavata Shastram has got that ability to free you from all kinds of fears, including the fear of death. Remember, Bhagavata Shastram is not to get rid of death. It is to get rid of the fear of death. Physical body has to die. But if you have this knowledge of Bhagavatam, the fear of death will go away. How does Bhagavata Shastram remove the fear of death? By making you realize that you are not the body which is going to die. You are the consciousness which has no death. You see? Every verse of Bhagavatam is saturated with Vedantic knowledge. Kalavyala mukhagrasa trasa nirnasha hetave Srimad Bhagavatam Shastram Kalau kirena bhashitam. For this purpose, this Bhagavata Shastram has come into existence. It was composed by these Mahatmas. Etasmadaparam kinchit manashuddhena vidyate janmantare bhavet punyam tada bhagavatam labhet. Etasmad aparam kinchit. There is no other better means. Manashuddhena vidyate. For purifying the mind and to gain this knowledge. This is the best means. But to get this also, you need to be extremely fortunate. Janmantare bhavet punyam. For very many births you must have done punya. Tada Bhagavatam labhet. Only then Bhagavatam will be available for you. It's a fact also. Not everybody is attracted to Bhagavatam. Lot of punya one must have done. Only then, when you listen, you feel attracted. That feeling attracted is the proof that you have done a lot of punyas. That the mind is pure. What is the proof that an iron piece is pure? When that iron piece feels a pull towards a magnet, that is a proof that iron piece is pure. An iron piece which is covered by rust. An iron piece which is covered by rust, it doesn't feel the pull. In the same way, a mind which is very impure, it doesn't feel the pull towards the scriptures, towards satsang, towards spiritual path. It's a fact. Janmantare bhavet punyam. Punya is done in so many births. It expresses as attraction towards this path, attraction towards God, attraction towards Mahatmas, attraction towards scriptures. And now, to prove this, Suta Rishi tells a story. Now and then you will find stories here. That this Bhagavata Shastram is not available for all. Even for Devatas, it is not available. To prove that, he tells a story. What is the story? Parikshite katham vaktum sabhayam samstite shuke sudha kumbham grihitvaiva devas tatra samagaman. So when Parikshit Rishi was going to give this knowledge to, not Parikshit, who? Shuka Brahma Rishi. Shuka Brahma Rishi, when he was going to give this knowledge to Parikshit, just at that time, Devatas came. With what? Sudha Kumbham. Kumbham means pot. The pot filled with Amrutam. They came with the pot. Sudha Kumbham. Then what happened? Then Shukam natva vadan sarve swakarya kushala asuraha. These devatas who are swakarya kushalaha, very selfish, Katha sudham prayachasva grihitva sudhamimam. So they made a request. Oh Shuka Brahmarshi, we have brought this Sudha Kumbham, the pot of nectar. Why don't you give this nectar to? Because after all, he is scared of that Takshaka. If you drink this nectar, he will be saved. So take this Sudha Kumbham and give that Katha, that nectar which you are going to give him, that nectar you give us. Instead, take this. One is Katha Sudha, the other is Swarga Sudha. That Katha which you are going to give, Bhagavata Katha, give it to us. Instead, take this. For Takshaka, this is enough. What did Shuka Brahmarshi do? Kwa Sudha, kwa Katha loke, kwa Kachah, kwa Manir Mahan, Brahmarato vicharyevam tada devan jahasaha. Shuka Brahmarshi laughed at them, made fun of them. Where is this Katha Sudha and where is your Swarga Sudha? There is no comparison. It is like telling, oh Shuka Brahmarshi, take these glass pieces and give your money, precious gems and jewels you give, take these glass pieces. It is something like that. There is no comparison. Why there is no comparison? What happens when you drink Swarga Sudha? You become immortal. But remember, Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Vishanti. You go to Swarga Loka, enjoy all the pleasures, and every time you enjoy the pleasure, all your punya gone, finally come back. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi. What about this Katha Sudha? Bhagavata knowledge is such that it can make you immortal. Where is the comparison? You are asking for an exchange. You are giving me something cheap and you want the best. Shuka Brahmarshi just laughed at them, made fun of them and sent them back. Abhaktans tanscha vitnyaya nadadau sakathamritam. Understanding that these are abhaktas, selfish people, indulgent people, unfit for this katha. Therefore, he did not give them. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Srimad Bhagavati Varta Suranam api durlabha. Even for devatas, this katha is durlabha. You have to simultaneously see how that, importance of this knowledge is. This is what every teacher has to do. There are a lot of things you have to learn. As Balvia teaches, how should you do? As you are going to something, first create that feeling. See, I am going to give you something really great. You see, that is a responsibility of the teacher. Then the child should feel, oh, something great is going to come. Create that curiosity. Build up. Attracting the attention, grabbing the attention of the listener. This is one of the responsibility of the teacher. See how beautifully it is presented. So this knowledge, even for devatas, it is durlabha. It is not available. Okay, I will tell you another important story. What is that? Okay, listen. Rajnyo moksham tatha vikshya puradhatapi vismitaha satyaloke tulam badhva tolayat sadhananyajaha. When Brahmaji in Brahmaloka, when he saw this, what did he see? Shuka Brahmarshi giving Bhagavata Katha to Parikshit, and in 7 days this man is liberated. Attained Samadhi. Brahmaji was astonished. In 7 days, people take birth after birth to get liberated, and this fellow did it in 7 days. He was astonished. And that to remember, Parikshit was bitten by a serpent. And now according to Dharma Shastra, all such deaths which happen in an auspicious way, the gati is never sadgati. So there is a verse. It is not there in this. Dharma Shastra says it. Mahatma's quote. What is that quote? I will just read it. Vidyuchairagnishastrahi gajasimhadi bhittitaha vishadibirhetu bhute mruto na labhate gatim. Such people who have this, inauspicious death. What is inauspicious death? Vidyuchehi. People who die by lightning. When lightning strikes. Agni. Getting burnt in fire. Shastra. Killed by weapon. Ahi. Beaten by snake. Gaja. Killed by elephant. Simha. Killed by lions. Adi. All these wild animals. Bhittitaha. By the fall of the wall. Such earthquake and all that. Vishat. By the poison of the snake. Etc. In this way people who die, na labhate gatim. They definitely are not going to get swarga gati. Of course, exceptions are there. This is a general rule. So now, this particular verse I have mentioned because Parikshit is dying because of Brahmaji was amazed. This fellow is bitten by snake bite. Such people don't even get swarga gati. This person has attained that state of, mukti only. So Brahmaji was amazed. And therefore what did he do? He took a beam balance. Is this Bhagavatam so powerful? So great? I want to know. So he took one. Sattiloke tulam badhva. He took a beam balance. Put all the scriptures on one side and Srimad Bhagavatam on the other side. And then he weighed. What happened? This Bhagavatam was weighing heavily compared to all the others. Laghunyanyani jatani gauravena idam mahat tada rishiganaha sarve vismayam paramam ye. All the rishiganas who were seeing this, they were amazed. Menire bhagavat rupam shastram bhagavatam kalo padhanat shravanat sadyah vaikuntha phaladayakam. So therefore all of them concluded, this scripture is the greatest. Padhanat by the study, shravanat by listening, vaikuntha phaladayakam. It will give you vaikuntha. Okay. So therefore, this scripture is great. Now here it is, one thing is mentioned here. This Bhagavatam is literally the form of the Lord. Now that story will come later also. So when Bhagavan was going to leave his body, because all the, avatara, everything was over. He was just waiting. All the Yadavas were killed, Kauravas, everything gone. all the wicked people were. So now he was just waiting to leave the body. At that time, Uddhava comes. Uddhava says, Bhagavan, Kali Yuga is going to come and this is the time you are leaving. Arre, this is the time we want you. So then Bhagavan says, you see Uddhava, I will infuse all my powers into Bhagavatam. So it is said there that Bhagavan, all the powers, whatever he had, he infused. In fact, he entered into Bhagavatam. The physical form is dead, but he entered into Bhagavatam. So therefore, all the Vaishnavas, the great devotees, they believe that Bhagavatam is the physical form of the Lord. So therefore, this Purana Acharyas, they have written a verse. How Bhagavatam is the physical form of the Lord. Now these are all based on faith, Shraddha. So I'll just read those verses. Padau tu prathamaskandha dvitiyo januni smritaha tritiyas sakthini jneyah chaturtha katiruchyate. So the Prathama Skandha of Bhagavatam is the lotus feet of the Lord. Dvitiya Skandha is the knee of the Lord. Third Skandha is the thigh of the Lord. Chaturtha, the fourth canto, is the hip of the Lord. In the same way, Nabhim tu panchamam vidyat hridayam shashta iritah saptamastu uraf proktah ashtamah kantha uchyate. Nabhi, the navel region, is the fifth canto. Hridayam is the sixth canto. Chest is the seventh canto. Kantha, neck, is the eighth canto. Skandhau tu navamaskandha dashamo mukhamiritam karnakshinasika yuktam sarvartha paripuritam. Shoulders, it is the ninth canto. And the 10th canto, where all the leelas of Bhagavan Sri Krishna comes, it is considered to be the face. So what is the unique feature about this face? All the jnanendriyas are here. Dashamaha mukhamiritam. Ekadashastu tamangam dvadasho brahmarandhrakam evam bhagavatam shastram vishnumurtim prakirtitam. Ekadasha skanda, it is the head. Dvadasha skanda, it is the randhrakam, this crown. So this way, this Bhagavata Shastram is the physical form of the Lord. This is the belief of the great devotees. So therefore, Bhagavatam is considered as the physical form of Bhagavan only. Right, so that's why it is said, Menire Bhagavat Rupam. It is Bhagavan's form. Right. Now comes a symbolic story. There is a story in the superficial level, but there is a deep symbolic message. What is that story? So here, Suta Rishi says, see, actually this Bhagavatam, Brahmaji gave it to Narada Rishi. But this Narada Rishi got it from Sanakad Rishi, how it can be done in 7 days. Saptaha Vidhi, this technique, Narada Rishi gained it from Sanakadi Rishis. Who are these Sanakadi Rishis? The mind-born children of Brahmaji. Sanat, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara. These are all the mind-born Rishis. So this technique of, completing it in 7 days, this technique Narada Rishi gained from Sanakadi Rishis. So these Sanakadi Rishis are like, they take the form of small children, 5 years children, all naked, all the 4 naked. All the time they will be chanting Bhagavan's name only. And how do they pass time? So one fellow will say, okay, now you conduct satsang, we will hear. Next day, okay, you conduct satsang, we will hear. So every day one person conducts satsang, constantly chanting Bhagavan's name, form of small children. These are Sanakadi Rishis. Brahmaji wanted them to get married, but they did not get married. That story and all will come later. So that is Sanakadi Rishis, ever pure. So these Sanakadi Rishis, they gave this Bhagavatam to Narada Rishi. So when this statement was made, Shaunaka Rishi said, "Oh Lord, don't go so fast. Please tell us when exactly this happened. How exactly this happened? Because for 7 days they told to Narada Rishi, what is the nature of Narada Rishi? Naradasya asthirasya. This Narada Rishi is an asthira person. Never stays in one place. Constantly keeps roaming around. So 7 days staying in a place is too much for him. Please tell us where exactly this happened. How exactly this happened. This story you must narrate in detail." Now, the way Narada Rishi is described here is also very interesting. Loka Vigraha Muktasya. There is another Patha-veda also, Loka Vigraha Yuktasya. Now this play with words, these Sanskrit words are, so many meanings you can just bring out of it. Loka Vigraha Yuktasya means the one who creates quarrel among people. Loka means people. Vigraha means quarrel. Yukta means he engages them. Loka Vigraha Yuktasya. Now this point has to be cleared because, see, please understand, Naradji, when he makes two people quarrel, it is like taking two stones and rubbing with each other. So then what happens? In the process, not fire, both of them get polished. All those pebbles are round, in that river bed and all that. That is because that is what Narada Rishi do. So both of them are benefited. All the sharp edges, egoistic sharp corners are polished. This is what he does. You will always find that in your life there will be somebody who will be creating trouble for you. Just think, meditate upon that person. Understand Naradji is in full play. Always you will find somebody is there in your life who is really creating trouble for you. It can be your mother-in-law, it can be your daughter-in-law, it can be your some neighbor, some friend, son, daughter, father, mother, grandmother, grandfather. It can be anyone. And that person will not go away from your life. You will be there. They will have long life also. That person is deliberately planted in your life for your own spiritual upliftment. In this way, when you see, spiritual progress becomes very fast because that person forces you to bring out all the poisons hidden in your heart. Just like when you press an orange, orange juice comes out. You press an apple, apple juice comes out. That person presses your heart and so many filth comes out. So that person is a God-sent person for your upliftment, for your spiritual progress. If this way you treat that person, your progress is going to be very fast. So that element is called Narada element. Okay. Loka Vigraha Yuktasya. Another meaning, Loka Vigraha Yuktasya means the person who is free. Vigraha is free from all hoardings, attachments. But this word is also beautiful. Loka Vigraha Yuktasya. So, O Rishi, please tell us, when exactly did Sanakadi Rishis meet Narada Rishi and what actually happened? Please describe in detail. So now we are going to enter into another story in a story. So here you will have a nested loop. Those who draw the flow chart, etc., they know. Nested loop. So in a story, another person is telling a story. In that, another person is telling. So you have to remember who is told to whom. Don't get messed up. So the first this thing is Suta Rishi giving it to Shaunaka Rishi. Yes. Correct. More of it we will continue tomorrow. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.